Hello and a very warm welcome back to another video. Another video with me talking about stuff. In this one we're going to go into games, so very excited to get into this one. Um, Without further ado, let's dive in. I imagine this will be part one of two. I'm going to split the games into two videos because I feel like, I've got 15 games to get through for 2025, so let's just get all of these games that are non-Pokemon into part one, and then I'm going to go for part two with all the Pokemon ones. So let's go for that. So number one on my list, and just to say, I've written a bit of a blurb for each of these games. I wrote this across New Year's Eve into New Year's Day, so I've got a blurb for each of the games that I've written. So it would be slightly different to the previous videos where it's technically there's elements of script, but I've written my own script with no assistance from AI. It's all come straight out of my brain, and it's not necessarily been edited or formatted. It's just my thoughts on the games that I've played. So, number one, Batman Arkham Asylum for Xbox 360. So I sat down, locked myself in with my headphones. I remember this. I did a solo run because it's a single player game. Did it on easy because I was just keen to just kind of soak up the story and the narrative. I completed it in April. The average time to beat the story is around 11 hours, according to How Long to Beat, which is the website I use to track. My time was around 10 hours. I think I clocked in around 9.5. Story tier, I've given it an S tier because I really enjoyed it. And was it a first playthrough? Yes, it was. So here's what I've written. Whilst I don't remember the exact flow of the story arcs exactly, I remember being very focused whenever the Joker, Mr. Mark Hamill himself, had something to say. I didn't do any of the collectibles or side activities as much as I could see a lot of love was put into them to add lots of lore. I learned some new things about Arkham Asylum and the case of deviance that Batman must be tired of having to put away. I give it an S tier because of the voice work and overall presentation. Whilst I had initially thought I might circle back to Arkham City this year, 2025, I think I want to give Arkham Asylum more time to breathe, and then I'll look to hammer all three Rocksteady Arkham games in one go via the Arkham Collection. So that's my hope. I'm giving it S tier. Had a lot of fun with it. I just remember all that stuff with Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy, like chef's kiss. That game, marvelous, marvelous. Okay, number two on my list is Borderlands 4. So I played this in co-op with a good friend of mine. We played on a mixture of normal and easy. We completed it in September. It takes on average 28 hours to play through. We managed to get through it in 21 hours. Shout out to him. He's particularly good at like I get stuck up in menus in games, just to go on a tangent, and there's multiple people I play with that are aware of this, and it is what it is, and I just get bogged down in loot and menus sometimes, and they're just like, look, I'm just going for the next objective, and I really appreciate that, just to kind of get us through games quicker. So we've saved about 7 hours there compared to the average, just getting through the story. So I give it an A as a first time playthrough. So I've written this. For many years now, Borderlands has become a bit of a tradition in co-op with my good friend Mr. Kamer. As is always the case, I had a good time again, which I did. My beloved Claptrap is still going, still making me laugh. It was nice to see some of the old crew members hunting vaults still after 16 years. Due to the new design of the world, one large map as opposed to different planets, this one felt a bit more like going on a road trip again. I appreciated the new mechanics to the boss fights, which is true. I'll need to give this one a bit more time to breathe. I'm not sure where the actual story ranks against the previous games for me. It's hard to top Handsome Jack, at least my memory of him. Just sort of hoping they can cook up some worthy story DLC now in 2026. Either way, I'm sure Gearbox will be cooking up their plans for Borderlands 5 and wouldn't bet against me being there on day one for that one as well. Like an old Avenger dusting off his cape to save the world for one last time again. Okay, next on my list, Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered. So I did a solo recruit run. This is quite recent. I did it in December. Rest in peace, Vince Zampella, and the other person who tragically died in his crash. Just want to throw that in there because I played this. I literally finished this the day before that incident, and yeah, it became like quite a poignant moment for me to just reflect on the fact I was playing one of his games just spontaneously, really, the day before he passed. So that was kind of an odd experience for me. Um, so the story time for this game on average is 6 hours. My time, I managed to do it in around 3.5. Um, this is because I was playing on easy and I was kind of just like hammering through the game, checkpoint to checkpoint. I did die sometimes in some of the levels, so yeah, note to self, you can down recruit if you just try and thrash through the game. So I've written for this, my initial plan was to jump in and record one of the snow levels for an hour, which I did, but then I sort of got the urge to replay it. Knowing it was down as a 6-hour campaign, I knew I could get through it a bit quicker on recruit just to refresh the story, and I was amazed by how little I remembered. I was pleasantly surprised on almost every mission. A lot of my memories of Modern Warfare 3 plot points were blending into this game. It's just a great action game. It is. And the PS4 copy runs crispy smooth on PS5, which it does. It's probably a bit pricey unless you can catch it on sale, as it's just the campaign remastered. They didn't even remaster the Spec Ops, for shame. I was flirting with leaving the ranking on A, but those snow levels, of which there are several, have left a fresh impression on me, so I'll keep this one at A+. I'm still waiting for the Modern Warfare 3 remaster. In your own time, Activision. Thank you very much. Number 4. Destiny, the collection. So, I played through this again. This is a game, particularly Destiny 1, very near and dear to my heart. I did a solo for 95% of the time. I think there was the odd mission where I was match made with other people. There's no difficulty settings, it was just a default run. I completed it in August. Storytime average clocks in around 31 hours when you add up all the DLC. I managed to do it in around 20 hours because I did use a grind skip to access new missions quicker once I got to Rise of Iron. So I've thrown together some tier lists for this. I ranked Destiny at A, House of Wolves at A, Dark Below at A+, Taken King at S+. This to me is like absolutely prestige story, but we can get into that in another video. Rise of Iron at A+. So I've written a blurb for Destiny as well. I've always seemed to struggle to put into words what it is about this game, specifically the first game and all of the DLC packs, that has had me so obsessed for over a decade now. Well, when I jumped back in over the summer, it all started to come back to me. But even so, I would struggle to put it all into words. I'll say this much: if you like your science fiction and fantasy blended into a post-Earth future war about trying to restore hope in the universe and overcome some utterly fearless and brutal alien enemies who seek to destroy everything we hold dear, I don't know if I'll ever find another one quite like this one. Somewhere that manages to blend MMO-like multiplayer social features with customization, light RPG elements, satisfying gameplay, and rare treasures to pursue. When all is said and done, this may very well end up being my number 1. Okay, next on my list, Halo Fireteam Raven. This was an arcade game at local arcades. Did this with 2 others. This was a cool experience because it was in the flesh with 2 other people, 2 other friends of mine. Had a great night that night, guys. Appreciate it. This was a default difficulty. There's no difficulty settings. We completed it in August. This is about a 47-minute game. I think we clocked in around 46 because I timed it. Story tier, I give it an A. It was good. Nothing too like super flashy S tier stuff. It was a first playthrough. Let me tell you something about these 2 guys. These 2 guys I played with are gamers. They know how to shoot the Covenant in the head. It was an honor serving Fireteam Raven with you both. Yes, we spent £40 between the 3 of us to make it through the entire game. Yes, this counts on this list. There we go. Okay. So, next on my list is Loco Roco 1. I did it solo, default difficulty, completed in December. Storytime average is 5.5 hours. I did it in about 5.5 hours. Story tier is an S for me, and I've written as follows. Falls just short of S+, only because I think from memory that Loco Roco 2 is a shade better all round. But let me tell you, this game, it is not just a game to me. This little critter has been my PlayStation avatar for goodness knows how long at this point. This has to be my favourite, well, my joint favourite platformer of all time. It was a masterpiece when it released on PSP in 2006, and it is still a masterpiece now. If you don't have the songs and sounds playing on loop in your head by the end, well, you haven't lived, my friend. You haven't lived, and you should play it again until they do. I had so much fun replaying through that. Okay. Next on my list is Marvel Ultimate Alliance for Xbox 360. I did a solo run on easy difficulty. I completed it in May. Story time average is around 13 hours. I did it in around 13 hours. I think I clocked around 12 and a half. Story tier A+, that's what I'm giving it. Was it a first playthrough? No. I had originally played it on PS4. So I've written as follows. I remember leading up to the new Fantastic Four movie, I kept thinking, I really should play this game again. As well as the digital copy on PS4. Sorry to everyone out there that might go looking for it, it's been delisted, so you can't get it on PlayStation anymore. Marvel licensing. I had the 360 disc and decided to have another run. I had all but forgotten the story prior to this replay, but let me tell you, playing as the Fantastic Four in this, pure Marvel Comics joy. It worked perfectly, not just from a team synergy point of view, but actually from a narrative sense. The final boss is Doctor Doom in this game, and let me tell you, the things he throws at you had me going, whoa. Imagine if they did this in the MCU. More times than I can remember. Seriously, if the new MCU movies with Doom are anything close to what they wrote into this game, we could have some stakes again, and some pain. Yes please, Marvel, deliver me more pain. Okay. Right, number 8 on my list. We got Path of Exile 1. Path of Exile 1 for Xbox One. Okay, so I did a 2-player co-op run on normal, completed in November. Story time average is around 30 hours. Our time clocked around 24 hours. Story tier, I'm giving it an A. First playthrough is yes. And I've written as follows. After being blown away, this is true story. After being blown away by my introduction with Path of Exile in 2024, thanks to the early access campaign of Path of Exile 2, I was cautiously optimistic about what this one could offer. Truth be told, it doesn't quite match the heights of the main narrative in PoE 2 for me, but despite that feeling, I felt it still offered real strength in its world building, NPC dialogue and sound design. Some of the soundscapes and audio screams in some of the dungeons had me sort of going, wow, that sounds like they're in real pain. That's true. I almost recommend playing it. It's free to play, just to sit in the camps and listen to the sounds. Disclaimer, it helps to have someone who knows what they're doing with you, which is fortunately what I had for my run. All things going well, I'll be back crawling the dungeons of Titan Quest 2 when it lands on PS5 sometime in 2026. Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to wrap this video up here as a part 1. Going to hit stop and we're going to kick things off in a part 2. So thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Farewell.